wonder why this motherboard failed. We've got 4 different screw types. Wow, whoever put this together had no idea what they were doing. These screws don't even go to this. I'm hiding over here yet. Wow, they're not even using the back plate properly. Yep, that's a shame. Reasonable job on the thermal paste, but the contact could have been better because they didn't screw it down correctly. Let's grab some isopropyl alcohol here, clean off that CPU. Okay, that's all good. Don't worry, alcohol evaporates. Alright, now this new motherboard. There's the back plate we're probably going to need. Much better. This one's actually high end. Okay. So let's look at the CPU orientation. And get that transferred over. Look at the motherboard diagram. 2 and 4, A2 and B2 first. Look what you're doing, George. Click 1, click 2. There we go. Okay. This bracket's going to have to come off of here. Good, we've already got a bracket in place, so we don't need the old one. Or back plate, not bracket. Technically, it's not called a bracket. I know. All right. Thermal paste off the old cooler, cleaned off. Clean spot in the rag. Make sure that's all shined up. Good. How dirty that is. I'm going to give that a quick clean. There we go. Much better. At least I can see light through it now. Get some thermal paste on here. There we go. That's all we need. We're going to put this on here. Look at your wire orientation. Line up the holes. We'll start the threads. Always do cat a corner just like lug nuts. Threads are started. Run them down till they stop. And then I like to rock the core just a little bit. Smoothing the surfaces out. It's like you have sticky substance between two surfaces. You put it together and you do that, and it really binds them. Same thing. All right, let's hook the RGB up. And then we find the CPU fan, which is that one. All right. Now, the customer's not running an NVMe, so we don't have to worry about putting an NVMe in here. He's running a 2.5 solid state off the backside. So let's set this motherboard aside. Let's get the old stuff out of the way here. We're going to need that in 2 seconds. Let me get cleaned up here. Okay. We got the case back here. We have our rear I/O shield. It goes in first. Always check the orientation of your motherboard real quick. That looks good from a distance. Yes. And it just snaps in place. Sometimes, depending on the quality of the case you're working with, this can be a process. It just snaps in like so. Okay, let's bend those out of the way. Good, good, good. Okay, let's prepare to get the motherboard in. Just these wires out of the way here. Make our life as easy as possible. Alright, now, since we had the instance where the whoever built this system used the wrong screws. We are missing standoff screws here. So this is extended ATX. Double check my sizing here. Pretty sure this is going to be, yep, it's going to be an EATX, extended ATX. So typically the cases come with extra standoffs. We don't have them, but thankfully I have those in stock. Let's just find the right ones here. Stand by and let me find the right standoffs. Okay, after about 10 minutes of some choice words and a decent amount of profanity, I managed to source all of the standoffs and their corresponding screws. So let's go ahead and get the motherboard in here. Take this process nice and easy. Make sure we don't get anything caught under the motherboard. Because we're replacing the motherboard, that is very easy. Okay, pick it up, slide her in place here. There we go. There she is, nice and settled. And then we'll take center screw first. Now I run this down until it stops, and then I back it off. That way the motherboard can still shift, and if you run that down tight, the motherboard can't flex and you start getting weird twisting and unnecessary tension in places. Not good. So I always start with the old machinist trick. You start with the center and work your way out. Get over here. Down, stop, back it off. There's another screw way down here. Why isn't this magnetic? Come on now. Alright, down till it stops, back it off. Stops, back it off, and then we have this guy up here. Back it off. Alright, now we have all the screws in place. Then you run them down. These don't need to be tight. They're just holding the motherboard in place. Maybe tight enough not to back themselves back out. There, done. All right, let's go ahead and start getting our power hooked in here. I always put my fingers underneath the motherboard a little bit when securing the 24 pin because it does take a little bit of nervous force. There she goes. This one, if there's a cooler up here, that can be fun. There several cuss words have come out of my mouth about that plug. Alright, now, so if you notice, our SATA cables are too short to reach here, which means we have the back panel off and reroute them through this hole. Now, let's see here, we've got our USB, and nope, we're gonna let some slack off of that too. So those cables are done. Our USB 3 is all the way down here on the bottom of the motherboard instead of being up here. So that needs to be rerouted. Not a problem. Let's go ahead and get the back panel off here. Oh, good. There's only 50 zip ties. Let me get you figured out here. There we go. That's a little bit better. Here's the back of the case. We have our two main trunk lines, and there's a couple zip ties here we need to cut. Let's see. Let's go ahead and cut that one. That's good, that's good. I want to bring this up a little bit. I'm raising the bench so I can work here instead of looking. There we go. Yep, here's the one that needs to go. Okay. Get a set of cables down here first. And then these are the wires from the top panel, your power switch, reset switch, hard drive LED, and what's the other one? Reset switch, hard drive LED. Oh, power LED. Yeah, I forgot about that one. Anyways, that can actually be run up underneath it here. So let's go ahead and do that. So what I do is I have a bunch of cables here like this. I fold them in half, and I come from the other side, stick my finger in, grab and pull. There she be. Alright, so we've got those routed. Our USB 3 needs to be routed down there as well. Alright, whereabouts? About here. That should be. I like that. I'm going to go ahead and plug that in since I'm right here. There we go. Alright. And then we have the rest of this. Go ahead and just run that whole assembly in here. That RGB might have to come back out. Let's go ahead and lay this case back down again. Oh, top pops off that case. Fix you again. Yeah, about yay. Okay. Drop this back down so it's not at chin level. Alright, now we can continue working. Actually, I gotta get you out of my way a little bit. You gotta go up here. Alright, stand by. There, that's better. Okay. Yep, let's cut that zip tie for the audio. That's not gonna fly. Or the front USB, not the audio, because this is the audio. Careful not to snip any of these other cables. Okay. Okay. That will go right there. No, it won't, because that's the front. Alright, we'll leave that one alone. Here's the front RGB. There she is. Now, the HD audio is way over here. that'll get tucked. Let's take that back off because we're going to fight with these. Now, this is where a lot of people start to cuss. Get this out of our way. Here, front panel, power switch, hard drive light, etc. are these little 2 pins. And they go, there's a legend down here that JFP1 associates with. So the legend's right here. Whoa, buddy. Oh, that's as far as I can zoom in on video. I don't know why. Ah, my stabilization's on, that's why. Alright, let's see here. This is the reset switch. Reset switch is down here. Alright. This is the power LED. Power LED, positive and negative goes right there. Right there. We're missing 2. Alright. Power switch goes right there. And the last one, hard drive LED, is in the back. And of course, I had to do that one last. Couldn't have used my head and did that one first. There we go. Alright, that's all hooked up. Now, I'm going to route that back there. Nice and neat. Let's get these SATA cables plugged in here. Alright, which way is the bottom one facing? There we go. Doesn't matter what port they go in, they all go into the South Bridge here. Well, the controller, South Bridge, is technically in the CPU nowadays. Now let's put the LED header back one. Very gentle with this. There she goes. Okay. That's done, that's done. 3.0 is routed. Put the graphics card back in. Our front USB. Let's deal with that real quick. Stand by, let me just plug that in. Okay. I rerouted the front panel USB. Then we put the graphics card back in. Put the screw back in that was holding that. Then we do the VGA power, graphics card power. Push that back down in there, tuck it down nice and neatly. And we're ready to turn it on. Okay. Now there might be some driver issues with the operating system and stuff like that, but it should still at least post and boot initially. And then I'll get the pin from the customer and we will finish the drivers in the operating system when that time comes. So I'm going to keep this rolling for the first time power up. Just because I'm ballsy like that, and I've been doing this for years. Okay. Power button. There she bees. It'll take a second here to post because this motherboard is never turned on with this setup. Okay. Let me take kick you out of the stand here. We have monitor power. Any second now. Should come up with the logo and should boot. There she is. So it's complaining that it basically said that the components changed and need to go into the BIOS and confirm everything. It's going through another post. Power on self-test, that's what post stands for. So what the system's doing is it's going around, oh, there we go. Here we are. It's booting. And I will turn away before the customer's information comes up. That's how you do a motherboard swap. Stay educated, my friends.